Live from YMSL Studios. Welcome to the Doug Less Report. I'm your host, Bobby Morabia, with to my left, Michael Sabon Salomon, as usual, and NRJ is on assignment once again in Indianapolis, covering the Pacers Heat series. We have a very special guest tonight, Jamile Abu Malhawa, aka Jimmy Malakh.
Hey, thanks.
How are you, Mr. Malakh? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
It's always
Great.
one of the great young power hitters in the league. As most people don't know, actually, that you are the all-time home run leader in the West Bank League.
Yes, I currently broke Babe Ruth's record of.
Babe Ruth record?
Yeah, he had it's a worldwide record of 714 that I broke. I hit 715.
I thought it was Yasser Arafat's record. So. Anyway, welcome to the show. One of the great young power hitters in the league, and we're gonna, Jimmy. You're a big fan of the league and very studious of all events in the league. So you're gonna show us your expertise a little bit.
I love the league, you know.
Thank you, Michael. What a week, sitting pretty at 6-2.
Feeling pretty.
Yeah.
At 6-2.
And you have a nice hold on second place. And you had a very interesting week this week, and two great games against your old nemesis, Maurice Haber, and that was two barn burners. And why don't you tell us about how it went over Memorial 2?
Well, yeah, they were great games. Really not so close of a game. I mean, we took a quick lead. We had a 4-1 lead basically the whole game. I mean, they had absolutely nothing. That team is, I would say, atrocious at best. It's not being managed well by Haber. The only shining star on the whole team is the pitcher, Max Jadid. He actually held us to only 4 runs, but they absolutely couldn't get anything going at the plate. They had a couple opportunities to score, but Haber would get up, or his son, or some of the other guys. And I'm not talking about the 8th and 9th batting guys. I'm talking about 3, 4, and 5. They really did not come through. They left a lot of runners on. Late in the game, we made a couple of errors, a couple of walks. We got them back into the game. But, you know, we ended up prevailing. But there was one play that was the walk-off play, which I'm telling you, in all my days in this league, I have not seen anything like it.
Well, let's talk about that play because I mean, there's only a handful of guys that could do what he did, and I've seen Mo Shaman do it in his prime, and Ali's done it on several occasions. We're talking about in the bottom of the 7th. First of all, let's talk about Abraham Haber made a great play on a pop-up by yourself.
I wouldn't call that a pop-up.
Well, the right field.
It was more like I placed it down the line deep to try to move Ali over, and the guy did make a spectacular dive and catch. I mean, if that another inch, if that dropped, Ali walks on.
Oh yeah. So so he caught it, and Ali, very heads-up base running, waited until the catch was made. A lot of guys would have kept running as soon as the ball was hit. And it was an appeal play, and he was safe, so he ended up on second. And then up next was a big discussion with Maurice Haber whether to walk Douglas Dweck, your star utility infielder, and they decided to pitch to him. And he grounded out to short, played to first, executed perfectly, but Ali just did not stop and kept running. Throw him to NRJ, bang bang play, and slid under the tag.
It was a routine one hopper to the shortstop. Most people wouldn't have even ran from second to third.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the minute the ball was hit, Ali was 3 feet away from third base. Yeah. By the time the shortstop got it and made the throw, Ali was already making the turn around third. Without even hesitation, he just kept going. And the first baseman threw the ball home, a drop high. There was a play at the plate, but Ali was clearly in there.
That was the second out? Douglas.
Yeah, it was the
That was
second.
second. Wow.
That was the second.
It was really unbelievable. There's only one other guy that I really think could pull that off. Old veteran of the league, David Franco, was known for those kind of antics. But at
it was a handful of guys.
At 49 years old, a newly engaged Ali Marshall taking bases. He's still the fastest guy in the league.
Yeah, he definitely is. And well, Ali also in our post-game interview says that his fiance's been putting him on a strict diet. So
well, yeah, I mean the guy definitely has potential to blossom after finally, getting a great woman to cook for him.
Yeah.
And
I'm not sure he's happy about the broccoli and Brussels sprouts for dinner, but it's maybe giving him the extra step that he needs.
Right.
By the way,
he's used to guys like Freddie Batesh bringing over 42 buckets of chicken from Dougie's, and Edmund Dweck carving a cow and bringing the leftovers over for the Sunday night toll
well, those days are over now. By the way, anybody wants to see these highlights of this game and all the other games in the league, just go to the ymslsoftball.com. Our producer Albert Tao put together a great bunch of highlights of the walk-off games. So that was the first game. Another subject that we got to keep talking about is Jack Bawaba. Again, he had about another 7-8 walks again this week. I think his total for the year is like 34, something like that. I mean, but yet he's keeping the runs down.
He is.
Is that a concern of you going forward?
Yes, it is. I mean, my weekly emails to this team is stressing how the walks are going to hurt us. And you know what? Every week he is getting 7-8 walks, but we are a very good fielding team. We are coming up big and making that big play, even with jam situations, second and third, first and second, bases loaded, where he's getting out of it when he has to. You know what? I think he's trying some new pitches. He's not going always with the hard stuff at the 8, 9, 10 batters. He's trying some curves, some knucklers, so he might get down a little, and those are the guys he's walking. He's not walking the 4, 5, and 6 batters. So I gave him the okay to go after those and use some of those pitches. I mean, I just hope it doesn't catch up, but it does bother me. But you know what? At 6-2, I'll take this formula.
Yeah. Jimmy, did you ever face Bawaba in the Maxi Sviha League?
We played him in the Tahine League. Yeah. He was good. He played 12, but he walked the first 7 guys. But he came around, they yanked him after the second inning, so it wasn't great. I just want to go back to Ali. I just want to know, he's been playing in the league for 10 years now?
No, longer than that.
And
after his minor league gig in North Dakota, he came full time.
How come we haven't done a drug testing for this guy Ali? This guy is hitting the ball miles, and he's running the ball. He's running fast.
Well, he comes from a very athletic family with Adam and Jason, and Ricky.
Sure.
So it's in the genes, no question about it.
I just want to know if they're doing drug testing employed in the league. That's
Actually, I think when the gene pool was being put together for the Marshall family, all of them went to Ali, and the leftovers got distributed evenly amongst the others.
Well, Sifu's got some good strength in his own right.
Right.
But Ali's still he got that speed, which it's something you really can't teach. So that was the end of game 1, and game 2 was really a lot easier on your part, and you came away with a sweep. Maurice Haber was not a happy camper at the end of the day, and now he's at 2-4. But
that team, he knows it. He expressed this to me on the field after the game through text messages. He didn't make the right picks. He's not happy. He's not going anywhere. They have no offense whatsoever. They were missing a key guy in Carlos Abadi.
Yeah.
But you know what? V. Goldberg picked up the slack at shortstop and played fine.
Yeah.
So you can't really use that as any excuse. They didn't score runs. I think they scored 3 runs the whole day. So I mean, it is what it is. Not every team is going to be top-notch.
We're going to talk about that a little later on, how the offensive numbers have really gone down in the league as far as runs scored. I mean, you have the unknowns which are putting up monster numbers, 11 runs a game. But
Uncanny.
a lot of teams in the 3-4 runs a game, which is mind-boggling in softball. But you know, maybe the talent's a little down this year, but with you know, with the pitching that was supposedly was a down year in pitching, you figure the runs would be up there. So now, but I think the best part about what's happening in the league right now is if the unknowns and Sabon Sanity run away with the top 2 spots and leave the rest of the league for the I think all the competitive teams will be for the final 5 playoff spots. I think 4 playoff spots would be the best thing that could happen to the league. And Jimmy, your team had a bye week this week, and how did you spend your week off?
I don't know. I don't know how everyone else spent it, but I spent it wisely. You know, I had some work to do. I had take a week off, but I'm sure a lot of my teammates, you know, we needed the bye week. We came out of sweep the week before that, and then we made a trade with David Harari. We just needed to take a week off. We needed to relax, focus on the next 10 games of the season. Maybe try to make a push for the second or first place. Obviously not first, maybe second. We do have Sabon down the road. We play him, and you know, we're just trying to figure out and then see what we're doing. And then we got Insane next week. You know, 3-3. We're 3-3, so we're gonna see. You know. How we fare out.
Actually, when you come back from the break, you mentioned you're going to have 2 new members on your team. You're going to have a very big, humongous member in Edmund Dweck and Edward Cohen. Both called up from the Syracuse Nationals. So that's going to be very exciting for your team.
Yeah, I hear this kid Edmund Cohen's very good. Also, he's a backup pitcher, so in case Meyer gets...
Well, maybe you got to learn his name first. Edward Cohen.
Oh, Edward Cohen, my fault. So,
what do you prefer to him as?
Edmund Cohen.
Edmund Cohen. Same.
That's the Arabic translation.
We have so many Edwins on the team. Edwins. You know,
wasn't that an old jeans brand in the 80s?
Edwin. Yeah, I remember
Edwin.
Our outfielder Edward, whatever. So
Eduardo.
You know, we just call him by left knee. We just say, "Yo, left field, right field, whatever." But look, we have a great team, and we'll see. With these 2 guys, obviously they'll help.
Yeah, I definitely think you made out in the better end of that trade for David Harari. Having a great feeling first baseman, great hitter. I think.
Yeah, he's gonna help our team a lot. Hits the ball the other way.
Yeah.
Moves runners over. Yeah, that's what we needed.
Plus, he brings steaks and
that's what I hear.
To the field every week.
There's
I mean, he doesn't really leave a lot for anybody. But.
Speaking of steaks, in your game, there was a very big presence on the sidelines, maybe campaigning for a job.
On my squad.
So or any squad for that matter. Do you think Mr. Morabia could have? You obviously saw him, but do you think that could have affected his pitching process?
You know what? Moses is a veteran of this league, and Morabia is technically a rookie of the league. You know what? If by some chance Moses ended up on the squad, however that might be, then I think that at this point he knows his role and he can only mentor Morabia through these next few weeks.
Right.
And I think it could be great. I mean, you know, as long as Moses understands that, you know, his career is going downhill and not uphill, then he could be a help. If he thinks he's going to come in and be the starting pitcher, then you know, obviously he should probably.
Well, I think it's our duty to try to help him out. And if any captain out there, I'm sure you're all watching the show tonight, give Moses a call. The number is 732-245-3603. That's not the YMCA hotline. It's Moses' number. It's 732-245-3603. If you have any, you know, backup, closer, setup, anything, he's
if you need a backstop, anything like that.
But and Moses, you know, listen, he's got 3 championships, so he's definitely got the capacity to help a team.
More than the capacity.
So we're going to talk about your next matchup, because that's been the talk of the league versus the unknowns after the Shavuot All-Star break. It's so that's going to be a feature game at Memorial One.
Is that my next game?
Yes, yes.
That's what I come back in.
Yes, so
I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, it's going to be a classic.
Is it featured on
yes, Memorial One? Yes,
Excellent.
yeah, 100%. And that's. Oh, I beg your pardon. Actually, no, I take that back. Sabon actually
has
the bye week.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the week that Ali was supposed to be trying out for the U.S. All-Star Olympic All-Star baseball team. So he's not here. Oh no, you're not playing him. That we're gonna talk. It's the unknowns versus the Marlins. We'll talk about that. But so that was at Memorial 2. Then we had at Memorial 1 a classic game 2, one for the ages. Dallas 2 versus the Insane team. First game. Insane rocked Red. They scored 7 runs with 2 outs in the second inning, highlighted by a Lisa Carey grand slam. Sonny Shalom went deep, and they basically blew that game away. But the second game was one that we haven't seen in a long time.
Since the World Series.
Was it like that? That comeback like that?
Since what was it? They were down 7
in the last inning.
The last inning? No, the World Series they were down 9-0.
Oh, in the last inning. Wow. Well, anyway, they. Dallas took an 8-2 lead into the bottom of the 7th inning, and basically Red had a major meltdown. I mean, not since
Code Red.
Not since Chachi broke up with Joni has he been distraught after the game. But
I mean, he's still reliving those horrific memories.
Our producers are actually trying to get him on the phone because he was
Chachi or Red?
Red, maybe it could be together. Who knows? And an 8-2 lead, he gave up 6 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning to seldom used backup Hazan, A.B. Salem.
Wow.
Was an all-star.
Isn't this the old national anthem singer from yesteryear?
Yes, Hatikva national anthem. And he took him, he had a great game against him. He was co-player of the week, and he played stellar defense at short center. And he got actually the walk-off hit, but Red just broke down. And individually, certain guys off the record on his team said he was the sole reason. It was not a team effort that they lost. It was single-handedly Red.
I would like to hear from some of these characters that actually said that. I mean, what did he do? Did he walk 30 guys in a row where they couldn't make a play?
He walked a couple of guys.
Okay,
and again,
but were there any errors made?
There was probably a couple errors, but I think what he did was he was behind 3-0 every time. And when you have a 6-run lead going into the last inning, you just got to get the ball over the plate and just,
hope that you guys can make a play.
I think, that's what makes me nervous about your team is that walks always come back to bite you down the road. Hopefully it doesn't happen to you, but anyway, they lost and they tied it up in 8-8, and they lost in the bottom of the 8th inning, and they were devastated. I mean, playing without David Asher, who was there to root his team on.
He was probably cursing his balls off.
He was
pardon
upset.
My French.
Sammy Sutton had a few choice words. I mean, the team was, definitely distraught, and that could have got him back in the picture somewhat, the playoff picture. But now they're right in the middle of the mix. Devastating loss. Now we go to Memorial 3, where there was a couple of excellent games too. We had the Fountain of Youths versus the Marlins, and maybe the 2 most anemic offenses in the league. And I got a stat that's mind-boggling to you. The Fountain of Youths have scored 9 runs in the last 6 games.
Wow.
And it's a run and a half a game in the last 3 weeks.
Well,
which is unbelievable.
I think we touched on this last week. Let's go back to their first pick, other than the captain who was slotted. Eli Harari. We're looking at his numbers right now. He's batting .217 with 1 RBI on the season.
Yeah, no, he's.
I think Moses could probably put up better numbers than that.
He's, definitely, even all the other guys.
We actually are getting a call right now from Moses Eastman. Do we take this? Let's take this.
No, Merge the call. Give me. I'll merge the call.
Hello.
I'll merge the call right now.
How are you? Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Hold on.
Hang on 1 second. Hold on.
Just
No, we're not
Moses,
busy.
Moses. Hold on 1 second, Moses. Hold on.
Could that be cool for Moses? That's Moses Eastman, right?
Yes. 1
Yeah,
second.
hold on, Moses.
Moses, that number we gave out was for the captains to call up.
Not for you to call the captains.
Moses not getting the message. I mean,
Yeah, hold on, Moses. Hold on.
Moses obviously thinking backwards these days. Still apologizing to
somehow
unknown people.
I have a feeling Moses has no idea that
He's
Douglas reports even on the air right now. Okay. Colossal mistake, by the
I'll
way.
answer.
Is line 2?
Yeah. Hello?
Moses, you're on the air.
Yeah.
Moses, you're on the air.
Hello?
You're on the air, caller.
This is Moses from Har Sinai.
Moses. Moses, you're on the air.
No, Moses, it's me. Moses. No, we need to talk right now. Moses. No, I'm in an airport. Yeah, I just got off the plane. Moses.
Oh, you mean where are they? Where's Bobby and them?
Who's them?
Just that other guys on the call. Bobby.
No, it's the baggage handlers. Moses?
Yeah.
So, wait a minute. Did you speak to anybody in the league about possibly joining Sabon Sanity?
Mark back up for you a little while.
No, Moses.
Flight 28 to Los Angeles, gate 2.
The red zone is for loading and unloading.
Alright, I'll call you back in a little while.
Caller, you're on the air. Caller, you're on the air. Caller? Caller?
What?
Yeah.
Jack.
Who's this?
Who's that?
Jack.
Jamal.
Jack
Oh,
Jamal.
Jack.
How are
What's going
you?
on?
How are you, Mr. Jamal?
How you doing, guys?
Very good, very good. And Jack, I know you must be excited about not about your 176 batting average, but I know you're the doubleheader victory in historic fashion this week.
Unbelievable. What a game. Talk about a game for the ages. I'll tell you. We were flat as hell in the second game. And it's amazing how A.B. Salmon and Carl Zaccaria just totally took over the lineup and just kicked butt. My father made a great play in the extra innings up the middle with his shoes on. So it was quite a team effort.
Carl
Really-
Zaccaria, 6 for 7, we might add this week.
6'7" or 6'4"7"?
6 for 7 with a couple of big hits and took over for Lee when Lee had to leave early.
Well, I mean, I gotta hand it to you, Jack. You definitely picked the right guys to, have a big comeback. I mean, who would have thought that A.B. Salem and Carl Zaccaria would be the two guys that would bring you back from that type of deficit?
And then my father is defensive hero in the extra innings. So, I mean, if you talk about, it's a little bit too close for comfort. We got very lucky, but that's the game that personally I feel bad for the opposing team. They really had that game. We basically gave up. Steven Matech asked if he could leave. I told him, just take your rest. Just finish up the game because, I don't want to leave with 8 guys. But, we conceded that game, and then, in Red's defense, it wasn't like he pitched so bad. It was they weren't making plays also.
That's what I just...
The whole day. It was a team loss, and they're a good team. I don't want to face those guys when they get healthy because, Jack had it, but fired. His son, 100%. I mean, a lot of those guys, Powell, I mean, these guys are veterans, but they're definitely, I would say, 50%. They're not 100%. So we didn't beat a team that played 100%.
And they didn't have David Asher, who was at the Million Man March cleaning up the scraps last weekend.
Yeah, they didn't have David Asher. He was definitely on the sidelines, and he had his presence felt. You know, he was giving us tips when we were going up against Red. No, I'm kidding. He's a great guy, and I think David Asher is the most underrated offensive player past the 7th round in league history.
No, quite an accomplishment by David Asher. Yeah, Jack, definitely a huge comeback. It put you at 500, and now after the break, you're going to go up against Jimmy Malakh's Twins, and that's a very good team that you're going to be facing in 10 days.
Oh, definitely. That's a great team. That's an amazing team, and that's a bunch of hitters. But Jimmy Malakh doesn't have Solomon with him, and doesn't have Ali Marshall with him. So, you know, Jimmy's a great hitter, love his game, but he's going to have to, you know, carry his team with his offense against our amazing defense.
What about JT, man?
Our defense is
What about Michon, JT?
He wants to know about Michon and JT.
I know they're not Michael and Ali, but
as a substitute to me and Ali.
No. Ali Marshall, Michael Sabon are the best hitters in league history, and let me tell you something. Jackie Talent is probably one of the best players today.
exactly. So.
Coming, but I'm not going to give him props as the best player in history yet. Let me tell you, guys, I want to tell you my top 5 all time, and tell me if you agree or disagree. I got Ali Marshall number 1. Number 2, I got Morris and Henry Shalom 2 and 3. You could interchange them any which way you
Sounds
want.
like the 2012 draft. Yeah.
Number 4, I got Yadid, and number 5, I got Elliot Braha. Just wanted to hear your thoughts about that. Top 5 all time.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, it's very hard to compare generations. I mean, we're looking at Jackie had at 51, not at 22 like he was, so it's hard. And Jackie Braha in his prime is great. I mean, I'm sure there was guys, but definitely nothing wrong with that list. That was, you know, it's certainly a great way to start a team.
What about Red in his prime? I heard it Red.
Yeah, Red.
Ali Marshall number 1 overall.
How about Red in his prime?
Back 7 years ago.
If you're going to just say pure talent, I put Ali Marshall number 1.
Oh, yeah, that goes without saying. Yeah.
Nathan also.
He's just incredible. He's a talent above everybody else, I think.
Yeah, let's not forget Nathan when he's young. But anyway, Jack, we gotta go. The phone lines are buzzing right now, and have a great holiday.
See you in 10 days.
Thanks for taking my call, guys.
All right.
Thanks, Jack.
Thank you. Call a penny, ma. Who's that?
What's happening?
Oh, is this Mr. Hatikva himself?
It's Francis Scott Key.
The Hazan from the Lawrence Avenue Shul, Mr. Avraham Salem. How are you?
What's happening, Bobby?
Very good. It's amazing. You know, you went 4 years without getting a hit. Now you're player of the week. You start calling.
Well, it feels very good. It was an amazing feeling getting that World Cup, but it wasn't only me. You know, it was a team effort, and I just have to say this. It was actually our manager, Marty, that won us the game.
He popped up the picture.
Oh, why? He was making the lineup as the game went along? Is that why?
If you recall, actually, Lisa Carrier had to leave at 12:30.
Yes.
So Marty ended up in Lisa Carrier's spot behind Mo Shama.
Right.
So I think we were down 1. We were down 1 with 1 out, and he had one of those 1978 battles with Red, and he actually did not round out into the game-ending double play.
That must have looked a little like a Godzilla versus King Kong old 60s movie.
What did he do exactly that at bat?
He popped up to the infield.
Oh, so he didn't move the runner over.
Let's get more base
It's
rules. It
Oh,
was an infield fly rule.
yeah.
So how did that actually win the game for you?
Because you didn't hit the double play.
He could have struck out.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting way to look at it. Okay.
Jake right behind him.
Is that the oldest pitcher hitter?
191 combined, yeah.
That's
No, actually, how about my battery of Cornman and Eastman? That was a
No, this is a pitcher hitter.
275.
pitcher hitter, like Chucky Benz.
One of the best player managers of all time, and can't be thankful enough for Marty what he's done to this organization.
100%. Abe, it's great to see you finally get some accolades. You know, you definitely needed a chance, and you pulled through. And hopefully you'll have some more opportunities in the field now in upcoming weeks.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Bobby.
Okay, and hopefully, you know, I know you got to rest up for Saturday night. You're going to be up all night, so definitely have a great holiday.
All right, thank you.
All right.
To you.
All right, you
All
too.
the best.
Thank you. Take care. Obviously, a very elated A.B. Salem, and rightly so.
Yeah.
Coming off,
Player of the week is beautiful. Hazan of the week.
Beautiful shot he hit over second baseman's head.
It was a clean line drive, huh?
Oh, yeah, he ripped it. Nice shot.
Minus on that.
Yeah, you can see all the action live on the the highlights on the YMSLsoftball.com. A beautiful shot by A.B. Salem along with other highlights. Now we got back to the game of Memorial 3, which is the anemic Fountain of Youths versus the Marlins. And this really, talk about a game that lived up to its reputation. I mean, this is a cure for insomnia, game one. The Marlins won it 3-1 rather handily. As usual, nothing happening offensively for the Fountain of Youths. Game 2 was actually a great game. Another pitcher's battle. Jeffrey Sack has been humming the whole year. He's been pitching outstanding. But again, to me, he's gonna take that team as far as they're gonna go, because I see no offense whatsoever. And the same thing for A.B. Saka. But this game was a great game. It was a 3-2 game going into the bottom of the eighth, bottom of the seventh. The Fountain of Youths had a 3-2 lead going to the bottom of the seventh. And ironically, David Simhorn got thrown out of the game for throwing his bat. And they only had 10 players, so his slot was scheduled to come up fifth in that inning, which would have been an automatic out.
Had the bases loaded, no?
Yeah, so they got a couple of guys on, and with one out, and then the bases were loaded with one out, and then his spot came up and it was automatic out. So now the bases loaded with 2 outs, and Jeffrey Sacker was at the plate, and you know, Jeffrey not really known for his hitting. You know, he's got some power, but no speed whatsoever. He hit a grounder to Eshko, pretty hard grounder to short, but Eshko fielded the ball, bobbled it, went to third for the force. He was play was safe, tying run scored. The next batter hit a grounder to David Harari, major league boggled it up, and 2 runs scored. And they ended up winning 8-2. So that was a huge come from behind, the 8-3, huge victory for the Marlins, a sweep. But I see, you know, nothing from either one of those teams really. I just can't. I don't know how A.B. Sackett's going to win with a run and a half a game, and I don't see even on the Marlins anybody that could really step up to the plate to even say that they're having a down year.
I'm looking at some of these numbers over here, and I'm actually shocked at fellow first baseman Sammy Towell batting .250, going 1 for 7 last week. Mind you, they took 2,
right?
But you can't.
He's the 3-hitter on the team.
You can't win with him going.
I really think the
1 for 7.
The guy who's having the best year offensively would be A.B. Cohen. I think he's
Right.
hitting about 530 or so, but you know, he definitely. You know, they're going to have some problems offensively. But again, Jeffrey's pitching outstanding, and A.B. Sacker's pitching outstanding, so they're going to keep him in games. Yeah. But if the defense doesn't hold up, there's going to be some problems, you know, down the road. You know, again, we mentioned some of the woes on the Fountain of Youths. You know, I guess they could turn it around. We don't know, but I don't see it happening.
No, it goes back to the draft. A.B. Saka is Cy Young candidate every year until his arm falls off. But it goes back to the draft when you take family and you take guys that passed their prime by 40 years, like LeBeau's, and then you take I don't know their team. And then
I'm sure LeBeau's even happy that he had a prime. I guess.
So you know, I don't think he drafted well, and I think he knows that. That's why he was on the phone calls, making calls all day. And that's what happens. You have a team that can't hit. You know, you have a 4-hit cleanup hitter batting 280, a 3-hitter batting 215 who just got his first hit last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
And I mean, listen, amazingly enough, they're still in the run. I mean, 2-6.
Yeah, I mean, look,
yeah,
there's 4 teams in the same position, so it's anybody's.
Right, 2-6, 2-4, 3-3. Yeah, they're still in. They have one sweep.
Yeah, one sweep to get back into it. Now the final matchup was over at Meadowbrook, and this was just a complete annihilation of the unknowns versus Malbadif. Malbadif playing shorthanded. A.B. Dweck and Ralph Shearer were rehabbing in Vegas.
Eliezer
play minor league games, and Eliezer was in the hospital with a
he
stomach virus. And so they were really shorthanded, and you don't want to be shorthanded going up against the unknowns. And amazingly enough, they took a 3-0 lead, Malbadif, in the second inning, and by the bottom second it was 10-3. So they just pounded them, and Albert Levy waved the white flag and said no mas, and they actually ended the first game.
Did he do this from the outfield?
From right field?
Did anybody actually see him?
They saw a flag waving from the top of the grass, and they assumed it was him.
He didn't get caught in the weeds again, he means.
But yeah, so that was the first game, and the second game was not any better. This team, Jimmy, I don't know if you had a chance to see them up close, or if you know any of the guys on the team, but this team is an absolute machine, and you know, I don't see anybody stopping them.
I know a few other guys on my life, like
no, I'm talking about the unknowns.
Oh, the unknowns.
You're supposed to say that in Arabic.
Oh yeah, how the unknowns.
The unknowns. You gotta give it to them. We played them last week. Obviously, we went to extra innings in the second game. They won on a walk-off. They have a stud left fielder with Murray Zolta, and Richter is a Gold Glove first baseman. Yeah. Hannon, who's probably the mid-season Cy Young this year by far. You know, they got Joe Chira in center field. They got almost an all-star at every position. He drafted great, Joe. He had his cutoff, his work cut out for him. Murray Zolta. Probably going to win the mid-season MVP if it wasn't for Ali.
He's putting outstanding numbers. I mean, he's got,
not to mention their leadoff hitter, Jordy, who's having a career year batting .550. As a leadoff hitter, he has 12 RBIs. You know, they just stacked, and they're the reason why they're 8-0.
Yeah. No, I like, you know, it's ironic they're wearing gold uniforms because everything he's touched this year really between Haas and he picked up Ari Marcus last week, went 4 for 4. For Eddie Matute. I mean, just they're averaging, like we mentioned, 11 runs a game. You know, I don't see anybody's. There's no weakness in that field.
You gotta earn the W against these guys.
Although Sammy Towell with the choice words bulletin board material said, "I'd like to see how they do against a real pitcher." So
he's gonna bring his bats. He's got to bring his.
You know, we are checking the Elias Bureau statistics, and we have Murray Zolta actually leading the league in average, hits, and he's right up there in ribbies and on-base percentage. I mean, usually these are categories taken up by guys like myself, by the Henrys, by the Ali Marshalls. You know, but we have a Zolta doing this. That's unheard of. They're known for running shuls and, you know, other things like that, not hitting home runs.
As a matter of fact, if you look at the league leader categories, it's just dominated by
the whole team.
By the unknowns.
Yeah,
I mean,
every
that's
hits top 3, ribbies top 3. Of course, I'm there number 4, and I'm sure I'll be ahead of them at the end of the thing.
Home runs,
but you got Jordy with the homers. Doubles, you got Zolta.
They don't walk, but
you got average, you got runs, all of them.
Slugging percentage.
We got Ali there, and Jimmy with the high on base percentage, coming in with 8 walks.
8 walks, yes.
Yeah,
well, they're not going to pitch to him, you know. That's the way it goes. But Sammy Towell throwing the bulletin board material, saying, like we mentioned, let's see how they do against a real pitcher like Jeffrey Saka. So. They're going to get that opportunity next week.
I would like to see
Marlins go up to face the Unknowns, and that should be an outstanding matchup. So they're running away with it. It was, you mentioned 8-0. Now the talk of the league is going to be, can we have an undefeated team? And that hasn't happened. I don't believe in the 36-year history of the deal in YMSL softball league, but
I believe the Cracker Jacks
yes,
were actually en route
15-1
until we had an epic meltdown.
Yeah, a great team in their own right.
Beta and
Me and Indy
What
and
year was that?
1997.
Jimmy, knowing his stats,
Yeah,
keeping track from the
Jimmy was in
Beirut
diapers, right?
history
the
major.
Beirut
College.
telegraph
Bro.
system in 1997.
Was he throwing stones that weekend?
No, we were.
The Camel Express
for our
used to
lives.
bring him the newsletters every week through the desert.
But so that's going to be the big talk until somebody knocks them
They're
off.
gonna have a hiccup. I think they 15-1. They'll have a hiccup here and there.
Yeah.
I mean, I got
Well,
to
there's
tell
a lot
you,
of pressure to even go 16-0.
right. I mean, look, these guys are definitely tearing it up. There's no question, and you got to give them all the credit. 8-0, their guys are leading in everything. You know they're good players, but they still don't all have the full amount of experience
Yes.
to take it. You know what? If they do it, then prove us wrong.
You're 100% right.
And you know what? I'm not going to sit here and bash them at all because they're still 8-0.
Yeah,
Right.
So they are actually playing great, but I actually I am looking forward to playing them.
as you know,
You're 6-2.
playoff pressure is a whole different ball game. So I mean, every game is a one-run game, it's a close game. Right now, they're just not playing anybody competitively, but it's a whole different thing. Now they're going to start feeling the pressure once that happens. But
They have the pitching.
Hannon. I think Hannon could also be rattled. I mean, he's been known to lose it a little bit
yeah.
here and there.
Wait till I start whispering to him while he's on the mound.
Yeah, he sees
You're
the
gonna
alley.
have an epic meltdown.
So, but we're gonna take a break from our sponsors, and then we're gonna look at next week's previews. Okay.
All right, thanks. Be right back.